Let me be brutally honest with you. Most women will never tell you exactly how they feel. In fact, many of them have mastered the art of hiding emotions behind smiles, silence, or even sarcasm. And here's the controversial truth. A woman hiding her feelings is often more dangerous than a woman who openly rejects you. Why? Because when she hides, she controls the narrative. She leaves you guessing, confused, and sometimes chasing her without even realizing it. Men today are often told to just ask her or wait until she's ready to open up. But that's a weak strategy. If you can't read what she's actually showing you, you'll always be at a disadvantage. Women communicate more through behavior than words, and when she hides her feelings, she reveals them in subtle, almost coded ways. Most men miss it. The ones who catch it, those are the men who win. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Sometimes she hides her feelings not because she's shy or scared, but because she wants to test you. She wants to know if you're sharp enough to see what's right in front of you, and if you can't, she'll quietly lose respect for you, even if she secretly likes you. This video is not about sugarcoating or giving you fairy tale advice. I'm going to break down the exact signs a woman shows when she's hiding her feelings. 10 specific things. Some of them may shock you, some may even make you uncomfortable, but if you want to stop being blind to female behavior, you need to know this. Because at the end of the day, the man who sees through the mask is the man she truly respects. 1. She acts cold but stays close. One of the clearest signs a woman is hiding her feelings is when she deliberately acts cold, distant, or even uninterested, but still chooses to remain in your space. This is not random behavior, it's intentional. She wants you to notice her presence, but she doesn't want to expose her vulnerability, so instead of opening up, she hides behind a wall of indifference. This is controversial because most men take her coldness at face value and assume she doesn't care. Wrong. If she truly didn't care, she wouldn't stick around at all. The very fact that she stays close, whether it's hanging out with you, texting you randomly, or finding excuses to be in your orbit, reveals something deeper. She's trying to balance two conflicting emotions, her attraction to you and her fear of being exposed. Here's what most men miss. Women often test men by creating emotional distance to see how he reacts. If you get needy, chase harder, or confront her aggressively, she'll retreat even further. But if you remain calm, grounded, and unaffected, she'll begin to lower her guard. That's when her true feelings start to surface. This behavior is rooted in control. By acting cold, she controls how much of her emotions you get to see. But by staying close, she keeps her options alive. It's a push and pull dynamic that frustrates men who don't understand it. 1. Example. Imagine she's at a party with you. She avoids laughing at your jokes, keeps her tone flat, maybe even rolls her eyes. But look closer. She doesn't leave your side. When others approach you, she lingers. She might even interrupt subtly just to keep you engaged. Outwardly, she's cold, but inwardly, she's screaming for you to notice her without exposing herself. This is the paradox. When she acts cold but refuses to walk away, her feelings are closer to the surface than you think. 2. She teases you more than usual. When a woman is hiding her feelings, teasing becomes one of her favorite weapons. On the surface, it looks playful or even mocking, but underneath, it's a safe way for her to express interest without openly confessing it. She can throw little jabs, laugh at you, or exaggerate your flaws, all while secretly enjoying the fact that she has your attention. Here's the controversial truth. Women don't tease men they have no emotional investment in. If she genuinely didn't care, she'd ignore you. Teasing is her way of engaging without being vulnerable. It's a cover-up. By acting like she's just joking, she gives herself an escape route. If you call her out, she'll say, "Relax, I'm just kidding." But deep down, those jokes are layered with meaning. Most men misunderstand this dynamic. They either get defensive and irritated, or they overreact by trying to tease back too hard. That kills the vibe. The smart move is to stay calm, respond with confidence, and recognize that her teasing is a signal, not an attack. If you can handle it without losing your cool, she'll feel both challenged and safe around you. That's when her hidden feelings begin to slip out. Teasing is also her way of testing your strength. Women are instinctively drawn to men who can handle pressure. If a small joke throws you off balance, she'll question whether you can handle real challenges. But if you remain unshaken, you pass her test without even realizing it. 2. Example. You're wearing a new shirt, and she says, "Wow, that shirt makes you look like you're trying way too hard." Outwardly, she's mocking you. But notice, she noticed what you're wearing. She's paying attention. She's invested enough to comment. That's not indifference. That's interest disguised as criticism. When a woman teases you more than usual, she's not trying to push you away. She's trying to pull you closer without admitting it. 3. She gets jealous, but denies it. One of the strongest indicators that a woman is hiding her feelings is jealousy, but here's the twist. She'll never admit it. Instead, she'll downplay it, mask it with indifference, or flip it back on you. And this is where most men get fooled. They think, if she's not saying anything, she must not care. Wrong. The truth is, when a woman has no feelings for you, she doesn't waste a second worrying about who you're talking to or what you're doing. Jealousy only shows up when her emotions are involved. Think about it. You're chatting with another woman, and suddenly her energy shifts. She goes quiet, becomes sarcastic, or changes the subject. She won't come out and say, "I don't like seeing you with her," because that would expose her feelings. Instead, she denies it, acting like nothing bothers her, yet her behavior says otherwise. This is controversial because men are told to take women at their word. But women don't always communicate feelings directly. They communicate through reactions. Jealousy is one of the rawest reactions, and it's almost impossible for her to hide completely. Now here's the part most men overlook. Jealousy isn't always about possession. Sometimes it's about attention. If she feels you're giving another woman the attention she secretly craves, it stings. Even if she has no official claim on you, her emotions don't follow logic. That inner conflict, wanting you but not wanting to admit it, is what creates this strange denial game. You've probably experienced this before. Maybe she acts overly cool about you talking to another woman, insisting she doesn't care, yet her vibe tells a different story. Maybe she makes a dismissive comment, or suddenly her mood changes. That's not coincidence. That's jealousy leaking through the cracks. When a woman hides her feelings, jealousy is one of the most revealing signs. She'll never hand it to you on a silver platter, but if you pay attention to how she reacts instead of what she says, you'll see the truth staring right at you. 4. She talks about other men. Now this one is going to sting a little, but you need to hear it. When a woman is hiding her feelings, she'll often bring up other men in conversation. She'll talk about who messaged her, who complimented her, who asked her out, or even casually mention an interesting guy she met. On the surface, it seems like she's just sharing details of her life, but underneath, this is one of the oldest tactics in the book. She's not doing it by accident. Here's the hard truth. If she didn't care about you, she wouldn't bother trying to spark a reaction. The fact that she keeps inserting other men into the conversation is her way of testing your emotional pulse. She wants to see, do you react? Do you get jealous? Do you fight for your position? It's a psychological game. She's hiding her true feelings behind the stories, but she's watching every move you make. And here's where I need to criticize the men. Too many of you play it wrong. Some of you get defensive, angry, or even insecure the second she mentions another guy. Others try to act too cool, pretending it doesn't bother you at all. Both reactions make you look weak. One shows desperation, the other shows indifference. Either way, she loses respect for you. Men need to wake up to this reality. Women don't talk about other men around guys they truly don't care about. If she's doing it, she's hiding something and she's measuring you. The key is not to overreact, not to beg for her attention, and not to fall into her trap. Instead, stay calm, stay confident, and let your actions show that you don't need to compete for her validation. If you learn to master this test, you'll see past the smokescreen. The men who fail will stay confused. The men who wake up will understand that her words about other men usually mean she's thinking about you. 5. She pulls away, then comes back. One of the most confusing things men face when dealing with a woman hiding her feelings is this push and pull behavior. One moment, she's warm, laughing, and fully engaged with you. The next, she suddenly goes distant, texts slow down, calls stop, and she seems almost unreachable. Just when you've started to convince yourself she's not interested, she reappears, acting like nothing happened. This back and forth is not random. It's strategy, whether she's conscious of it or not. By pulling away, she protects herself from feeling too vulnerable. By coming back, she makes sure you don't forget her. It's emotional tug of war, and you're the rope. Here's the controversial truth. Men misread this cycle almost every time. When she pulls away, weak men panic. They chase harder, blow up her phone, or demand answers. That only pushes her further away because it shows insecurity. Then, when she comes back, these same men reward her inconsistency by acting overly grateful she's back. This is why so many guys get stuck in endless loops of confusion. But if you look closer, her behavior is actually proof that she cares. Women don't invest energy into someone they feel nothing for. The fact that she circles back means she wants to keep the connection alive, but her fear of being fully exposed makes her retreat. It's like she's saying, I like you, but I need to protect myself. Men need to stop being blind to this. When she disappears and reappears, it's not your cue to panic or over-celebrate. It's your cue to stay grounded. Don't chase, don't beg, and don't lecture her. Stay steady. Because the man who remains calm in the cycle earns her respect, while the man who reacts emotionally loses it. If she's pulling away and coming back, she's not indifferent. She's hiding feelings. And if you read it right, you'll see she's already showing you more than she says. 6. She overthinks small interactions. When a woman is hiding her feelings, the tiniest things suddenly become a big deal in her mind. She'll overanalyze a simple text, replay your words in her head, and even look for hidden meaning in casual gestures. But here's the kicker. She'll never admit this to you. On the outside, she pretends she's unbothered, but inside, she's dissecting every detail. Why does this happen? Because when emotions are involved, everything feels amplified. If you take a little longer to reply to her message, she notices. If you use a different tone than usual, she feels it. If you compliment someone else, she replays that moment over and over. This overthinking is her way of processing feelings she doesn't want to confess out loud. Here's the controversial part. Men often think women are complicated for acting this way, but the truth is, this only happens when she's invested. Women don't waste mental energy analyzing a man they have zero interest in. If she's overthinking, it's because you matter to her, simple as that. But here's where many men go wrong. Instead of recognizing her hidden emotions, they brush it off or even mock her for being too sensitive. That's a mistake. If you dismiss her subtle reactions, you'll miss the proof that she's emotionally tied to you. This is why so many guys end up confused, asking, does she even like me? When the signs are staring them in the face. Men need to wake up. Overthinking is not just anxiety, it's attachment. It's the clearest signal that she's fighting to keep her feelings under control. Pay attention to the patterns, not her words. If she reacts strongly to small changes in your behavior, it's because you're not just another guy. A woman who hides her feelings won't tell you directly, but the way she overthinks your smallest actions is her heart giving her away. 7. She pretends not to care about you. One of the most deceptive signs a woman is hiding her feelings is when she acts like she couldn't care less about you. She'll shrug off your achievements, give short answers, and even pretend she's uninterested in what you're doing. On the surface, it looks like indifference. But here's the controversial truth. True indifference doesn't require effort. Pretending not to care actually takes energy. Think about it. If she genuinely didn't care, she wouldn't need to prove it. She wouldn't go out of her way to act detached. The fact that she's performing this cool girl act shows she's trying to manage emotions that run deeper than she wants you to see. It's her defense mechanism. By downplaying her interest, she protects herself from rejection or from being too vulnerable too soon. Here's where most men fail. They take her act at face value. They believe, well, she's acting like she doesn't care, so I guess she doesn't. Wrong. That's surface-level thinking. Underneath the cold mask, her emotions are often louder than she wants to admit. The problem is, too many men react by chasing harder, trying to break down her wall with extra attention. That's the worst thing you can do. The more you chase, the higher her wall goes. The smart man understands the difference between real indifference and fake indifference. He knows that when a woman is pretending not to care, she's watching him closely to see if he'll fold, get insecure, or keep his composure. If you stay steady, if you refuse to take the bait, her act begins to crumble. And that's when her real feelings start to show. So men, stop being fooled by the mask. A woman who truly doesn't care disappears. A woman who pretends not to care is the one who's battling herself on the inside. Learn to see the difference, and you'll never misread her again. 8. She watches you but avoids eye contact. Here's one of the most telling and controversial signs a woman is hiding her feelings. She keeps her eyes on you, but avoids locking eyes when you catch her. That's not random. That's not coincidence. That's emotional conflict playing out in real time. When a woman is attracted, her eyes betray her before her words do. She studies your movements, pays attention to your energy, and notices details about you that most people overlook. But when she's hiding her feelings, direct eye contact feels too dangerous. Why? Because eye contact is raw. It exposes truth. And truth is exactly what she's trying to conceal. You've probably experienced this before. You sense her watching, but the second you look back, she shifts her gaze, fiddles with her phone, or pretends she wasn't looking at all. That avoidance isn't disinterest. It's fear of being exposed. If she really didn't care, she wouldn't notice you in the first place. Here's where men need to wake up. Too many guys mistake this behavior for rejection. They assume, well, she's not looking at me, so she must not be into me. Wrong. If she truly didn't want you in her world, she wouldn't watch you at all. The act of observing you while avoiding connection shows her mind is at war with her heart. It's also a form of self-protection. Eye contact creates tension. It communicates attraction without a single word. By dodging it, she tries to keep control. But the fact that she watches at all proves her emotions are stronger than she wants you to believe. A man who understands this doesn't get insecure. He doesn't confront her or demand acknowledgement. He simply notices, stays calm, and carries himself with confidence. That's when she realizes she can't hide forever. If she's watching you but can't hold your gaze, it's not rejection. It's her unspoken confession. 9. She tests your confidence in subtle ways. When a woman is hiding her feelings, she won't always confess them directly. Instead, she'll test you. Not with big, obvious challenges, but with small, subtle moves designed to measure your confidence. This is controversial because most men don't even realize they're being tested until it's too late. She might make a sarcastic remark about you, playfully insult you, or challenge one of your opinions just to see how you respond. If you get defensive, flustered, or insecure, she takes note. If you stay calm, collected, and unbothered, she takes note of that too. These little confidence checks are her way of figuring out if you're strong enough to handle the real her, the side she's keeping hidden. Here's the truth. Attraction isn't just about looks or charm for women. It's about how solid you are under pressure. If you fold at the smallest test, she'll assume you'll fold when life gets harder. That kills respect. But if you stand firm, laugh it off, or handle it with smooth composure, she feels safe because you've proven you're unshaken. Men need to wake up to this reality. When she's testing you, she's not trying to hurt you. She's revealing her interest in disguise. Women don't waste energy testing men they don't care about. If she's probing, it's because she's emotionally invested, but afraid to show it directly. The problem is, too many guys fail these tests without even realizing it. They either blow up, get insecure, or try too hard to impress her. That's the fastest way to lose her respect. The man who passes her tests doesn't perform, doesn't over-explain, and doesn't get rattled. He just stands tall, because real confidence doesn't need approval. When a woman hides her feelings, her subtle confidence tests are her unspoken way of saying, "Show me I can trust you with my emotions." 10. She says the opposite of what she feels. This is perhaps the most confusing and controversial sign of all. When a woman is hiding her feelings, she will often say the complete opposite of what she actually feels. If she likes you, she might act dismissive. If she wants your attention, she might claim she doesn't need it. If she's jealous, she might pretend she's happy for you. It's contradiction at its finest, and most men completely misread it. Why does this happen? Because words are her shield. By saying the opposite, she keeps her emotions safe from exposure. She can deny, deflect, and disguise, while still staying emotionally invested in you. And here's the hard truth. Men who take her words literally often walk away too soon. thinking she doesn't care, when in reality, she cares more than she can handle. You've probably seen this before. She insists she doesn't miss you, yet she's always the one circling back. She says she's not interested in a relationship, yet she gets frustrated when you don't prioritize her. She laughs at the idea of being jealous, yet her energy changes the moment another woman enters the picture. The contradiction isn't a lie. It's a defense mechanism. Here's where men must wake up. If you only listen to what she says, you'll be blind. Women hide feelings not through silence, but through reverse language. They create distance with words, while their actions tell the truth. The smart man pays attention to behavior, not just talk. If her actions contradict her words, trust the actions every time. This is controversial because society teaches men to just respect what she says. Of course, respect is important, but if you don't read between the lines, you'll miss the truth she's trying desperately to hide. Women rarely risk full vulnerability up front. They protect themselves until they feel safe. That's why their words and feelings often don't match. So here's the lesson. When a woman says the opposite of what she feels, don't get confused, don't overreact, and don't take it personally. Recognize it for what it is, her way of hiding her heart. The man who sees beyond the contradiction is the man she truly respects. Conclusion. Let me leave you with something that will sound brutal, maybe even offensive to some people, but it needs to be said. A woman will never admit this out loud, but here's the controversial truth. Women respect men who can see through their games more than men who blindly believe every word they say. Yes, you heard me right. If you take everything at face value, you'll always be the guy left confused, chasing answers, and wondering what went wrong. But if you read between the lines, if you recognize the signs she hides when her feelings are too strong, she will respect you in a way she could never respect the man who stays blind. This is where so many men get it wrong. They believe honesty in women is always verbal, when in reality, women are most honest in their contradictions, in their jealousy, in their silence, and even in their tests. A man who fails to understand this will waste years of his life misreading signals, while the man who wakes up to the truth will never again be manipulated by mixed messages. And here's the uncomfortable part. Many women hide their feelings not because they're scared of rejection, but because they want to separate the weak men from the strong. It's not about love at first sight, it's about survival and respect. She wants to know if you're sharp enough to see her without her telling you. So let me challenge you. Stop living in denial. Stop pretending you don't notice when the signs are right in your face. Wake up, because the man who reads women correctly is not just harder to fool. He's the man women chase in silence. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop your experiences in the comments. Times when you realized a woman was hiding her feelings, or maybe times when you missed the signs completely. I'll be going through them, responding, and connecting with you one-on-one. Let's turn this into a real conversation, not just me talking at you. Because the truth is, your stories might open another man's eyes. And that's how we build a smarter, stronger community of men.